You know, it's one of the pinnacles of the calendar year for racing, but for Godolphin, as we know, it's most definitely on the radar right from the start of the season, or pretty much. It's like any of these meetings, whether it be Royal Ascot, whether it be, you know, Breeders' Cups, Melbourne Cups, or anything like that. Dubai, you know, the Dubai Carnival, and then going into World Cup night. No sooner has the Breeders' Cup gone past, you're already thinking about what you need for next year's Breeders' Cup, you know, because as we know, it will move around. It will go from Santa Anita to Delmar. Thankfully, we're there this year, to Keeneland, where conditions might be a little bit slower. The ground might be slower. We know at Santa Anita and Delmar, you want quick ground horses. Keeneland, you might potentially be working back with a horse that might want a bit of cut in the ground. So you've already got to start thinking ahead there to what type of horse you're going to need, and work back from it.
They're all in line. They're off in the Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf. Through on the inside, but Wuhita has done it.
Look, it's a magical track to see, as we say. It's the surf meets the turf, and a lot of history there. So, firstly, just from a visitor's point of view, yeah, it's great. The facilities are fantastic. Training track, we've always got on well there. You know, on the Friday of that meeting, Massar ran in the Juvenile, and unfortunately it didn't work out for him that day. So you walk away from any of those meetings, you've had a winner. It's great. But to be part of it, I always say to all of the team, it's the end of a long season for a lot of these horses, and you know, if we get them there in the condition that we feel they're fit to run well, you know, everyone's got to take applaudance before you even, you know, participate in the race itself. It's a huge achievement by everybody just to get the horses there.
And Albahr goes on to score by 2.5 lengths to Grafton Street.
Yeah, Juvenile Turf is the first race for us to be participating in on the Friday, and we have Albahr will be making his way over. Obviously, he got his win in his in slot in Canada there, but had a nice progressive profile going into Canada. He's a gelded son of Dubawi. The conditions will be suited to him out there. Obviously, he's been to Canada there. So that he's ticked a few boxes. He's travelled, he's done the track training, and jumping from the gates, having the bell ring, just helps them get used to it. So he goes there with plenty of experience. He might not be the best horse in the race, but he's one of those horses that he goes there, like I say, with the experience, and if it gets a bit rough on those turns, he'll be able to handle himself.
Really stretching out here to pound this opposition in the nursery. It is an easy win for Modern Games.
Yes, Modern Games is our second runner, hopefully, in the race as well. That's another son of Dubawi, who won the Tattersall's Summer Ball there in good style. Again, he takes, you know, enough experience, I feel, into the race. He's got a bit of class about him as well. He can travel very well, so he won't lack the pace to be able to go around Delmar, which, like I say, I'm always a big believer. You've got to be able to travel around there. He's got experience, but most importantly, he's got natural pace, which should hopefully help him around there. I would imagine William will be heading towards Modern Games. Like I say, he's a horse he's ridden, obviously, in a lot of his success. When I flagged it up to him, he would be a potential, you know, Breeders' Cup runner. Yeah, he was excited about him. So yet to be rubber stamped yet, but I'd imagine that William will ride Modern Games.
They come down to the wire, line of duty. Here's Outstrip.
Modern Games would be more of an outstrip type of horse, where, you know, he's brought his level up, you know, to a Group 3 winner. Outstrip was a Group 2 winner there in the Champagne, but I felt that Modern Games would be very competitive at Group 2 level here in Europe. So he's a horse that, yeah, if anything, you could say slightly on the class level, would be just in front. Albahr, I put him down to the line of duty sort of character. He'll go there, experience under his belt, and he's that sort of a character. The rougher it gets on those turns, the more he'll enjoy it. So, you know, two different styles of horses, though they're both Dubawis, character-wise. Breeders' Cup Mile, we have Master of the Seas. As we saw, probably had his best there when he was second in the, just got touched off in the Guineas there on quick ground. He obviously won the Craven there and then went on to finish second in the Guineas and met with a setback. I was delighted with his comeback run there in the Joel Stakes. Most definitely come forward for it, you know, fitness-wise. Going into Champions Day, where unfortunately the ground was just too soft for him, but I was keen to get another run into him because he obviously had missed a large chunk of the summer. He's come out of the race well, and I think back on a quick mile on quick ground that will suit him. But, you know, signs are good so far, and he's a horse that we've seen him do it there in the spring. You know, like I say, he was came off the plane from Dubai there. You know, ran in the Craven and backed up in the Guineas there, and you know, it doesn't worry me at all.
Space Blues, look how he picks up. Storms to the lead with William Burke, and he's won this well.
Space Blues will be joining Master C's in the Breeders' Cup Mile there on the Saturday. Delighted with his last 2 starts there, obviously winning the York Stakes and then going on to win the Foray. This will be his last run of his career. I'd imagine we'll be potentially retiring him after this. He's done us proud. But I felt that you know, a sharp mile around Del Mile will suit him. As we've all seen, he's a great traveller. You know, be quicker ground than obviously he's ran on his last 2 starts there. But it doesn't worry me. He won round in Saudi there on quick ground. He's a very versatile horse. But what he will do is he'll travel for fun round there, and if the gaps appear, he's got the acceleration.
There's no stopping. Walton Street demolishes them. A big winner.
Walton Street, you know, at the grand age of 7 now. He's been a horse that he's one of the yard favourites. Ursula looks after him, and thankfully she's going to be travelling over there with him. You know, last year we saw his profile rise race on race in Dubai there to go and win a City of Gold, and then I felt run a very creditable race in the Shima Classic as well. Was given a deserved break after that. You know, he put up a good performance there in Germany on his first start, finishing just behind the eventual Arc winner there. Our plan was always to head to Canada for the International, and he put up a very dominant performance there. You know, he's maturing with age very well, and you know, he felt that he deserves to go out there. He got his slot. He's a very straightforward horse. You can go up and lead on him, or you can just park him in behind the pace. So what he achieved in Canada, I think he probably does need to step up. But there's bits of his form that you could say, well, no, he's a live player there himself. And we keep going back to the German form, really. I mean, that you can't get any more rock solid form than that. And if any of those 2 in front of him were to turn up in the Breeders' Cup turf there, they'd probably go off likely favourites. So like I say, he deserves to be there. He might not be quite good enough to win it, but he won't look out of place.
Yibir, from last to first, will win the Jockey Club Derby and is in the Breeders' Cup.
Yibir will be joining him, so we've got one of the youngsters joining one of the veterans of the stable. He's a gelded son of Derby. He's been frustrating throughout his 3-year-old career. As he started his 3-year-old career off, you know, running in the classic trials and running well, but not running the most straightforward type of race that you'd like to see. Needless to say, he was gelded there before the summer there, and then came out and won the Bahrain trophy well. He then went and disappointed us again at Goodwood. We changed some of our tactics on him, and you know, we left the hood on there at York, and you know, he went and ran out a good winner in the Great Voltigeur, sorry. And the plan was always immediately after that was to head to New York for the Belmont race, the 3-year-old only race over the 1.5 miles, which is a new race on their sort of calendar. This is a race that we felt would suit him, and he went and won it well. Again, it's a character we didn't see. Normally he can be a bit free, and Jamie Spencer ride there, he wasn't going to pick up the bridle too early, but when he picked up the straight, he won well. So that was a win, and you're into the Breeders' Cup turf, and so he goes there as one of the youngsters. But if he brings his A game, he's going to be very competitive. There's no doubt about it. What he achieved as a 2-year-old, we felt was impressive for a big horse. He went into winter quarters there to run in the classic trials and see where we are, and he was left in the Derby up until the final stage, to be honest. So you know, he's definitely up there. You know, although he's gelded, we've had to do that to sort of hopefully get his mind channeled back in the right direction of being a racehorse. But as respects to ability, he's up there with them. I mean, I'm not going to be as bold to say, look, he's as good as Hurricane Lane or Addy, both, you know, English and Irish Derby winners and multiple Group 1 winners now. But he was put in those classics trials for a reason. We liked him, and we still do like him.